Alrighty, good morning, internet, or afternoon, or wherever you are. It be the things and the things. Checking some message, making sure the lines are open. Good ish, kinda, sorta, maybe. Alrighty. So, here we are for another Sunday with Scoob. I'm just chilling, hanging out. Spent the morning. Actually, got up really early this morning and went out to play some disc golf for the first time in years. And yeah, that was painful. I'll be honest with you, that was painful. I had not done the disc golf thing in a while, and going out and walking around, wander. Get out, wander around, do that. We only got about halfway through the course today because it's been so long, and I was in a lot of pain when it was done. So it was just like, all right, well, we'll try this again next week, and I think we'll do the back nine next week, which would be good. I mean, back nine is a lot longer at the course we go to. It's one of the local parks in the area. A lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Actually came out overall, I was doing pretty good. First couple of holes I got par, and then second couple of holes, then the next couple few it's like not so much. I think at that point it was my knee was hurting, so trying to get that good kind of up and start for your long drive, that was a bit rough. That was a bit rough. But it was good. Hang out, enjoy the spring weather, because nice to have sunny weather and fairly calm temperatures. Oh, so doing the things. Gonna work on some more 40k minis. Up and down. And got my Dark Angels army I'm trying to finish up, so then I got a whole bunch more to build, some Primaris models to work on. But I got these ones from the Dark Vengeance box set that I want to finish up. So that's what we're gonna work on, and we're gonna hang out. Got the stream beats on, so enjoy the stream beats music in the background as we paint. And if you are a member, I've got the Discord line open for those who are cast members of the live D&D games, as well as certain levels of Patreon, and my moderators can all just jump in and we can hang out and chit chat while working on the minis. We say we get to it and see where we are. Had to hit the right. Alrighty, so last week kind of did some work here on some of the white and the red, try to get these bolters kind of put together. They don't look too bad. Did the silver parts and then the red parts. So right here, this isn't quite bright enough for me, so I think we're going to start with putting another coat on some of these areas to kind of block them in for more of the white and the red off the armor. Some of the skulls, I think we're going to go ahead and use the same kind of bone white on the purity scrolls, and figure out something for the purity seal. I think that's normally a red, so I might use a little bit of this heavy red to start on my purity seals. Try and get those a little more defined. We have some pouches that should be like a leather color. So we're going to kind of hit those, and if I'm feeling particularly brave, I'm going to try and get the lenses on the helmet in. So these little details here and there, and then we should be ready for a wash. So I'm going to turn my light on. There we go. Now we have a little more light on the subject. I am using, again, I'm going to use these Vallejo brushes and some Army Painter brushes. I'm doing all the painting in Vallejo Game Color line. So it's a really good paints. I really love the droppers because then I can just put a little paint on the palette and kind of just go from there. The pots from Citadel are nice, but I find they're a little cumbersome when trying to get like precise amounts on my palette. I'm using a wet palette here. Brush mission. Oh, there it is. My insane detail brush. Army painter. Start with brush. Go. Fine detail brush from the Paint Night kit I got. Nice thing about the wet palette is it keeps the paint kind of moist. You'll be able to dive right into it. Morning, Rye. How are you doing? No, I don't think I heard your voice. What is up with this? All right, Rye, if you're in the voice chat, you want to try again? Oh. That is really kind of bugging. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me, Rye? Oh, why all of a sudden I've got this. All right, quick troubleshoot time. An input. Okay. An output. Got a couple of things going on with Discord. Kind of weird. Oh, I'm hearing something now.
Test.
Oh yeah, there's the voice. How to fix it over
The voice
here.
update.
I don't know about that. Alrighty, let's try that again. All right.
Test.
Yep, sounds like we're working now.
Working hard for the money.
Oh, that's what we tell ourselves anyway, right?
I work, quote unquote, for that money, or try to at least.
Alrighty, so now we're starting to get some sound. Yay, sound! Everything's good. How you doing today, Rye?
I am good. I'm good. Just watching your army of green getting ready to take on the world of new colors.
Yeah. Starting with touching up some of the stuff from last week and kind of what I can do there.
But yeah, nothing new here. Just a heavy dose of schoolwork over the last 2 days.
I can understand that.
That's about it. Nothing
Nothing
else.
wrong with that. Missed all the fun out on the golf course today.
Oh yeah, I know. Next time I'll be out there, but
Next time? Yeah, I think,
yeah,
I think
it'll be more
next
days.
time
I
we're
would
gonna
assume.
try a restaurant for like a restaurant that's out there in Pungo, and then
Okay.
try for that, and then go out to the course if you're interested.
As long as I'm free.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be trying to meet at like 7 at the restaurant, so next Saturday will be a little rough for me. Not
Yeah.
nearly as rough as yesterday, but that was rough for a whole different reason.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, come to find out, you know, the whole DMV appointment thing is nice, but definitely got some things that need to be clarified on the website. Like when my wife set up the appointment, she selected multiple services. Oh, services.
Okay.
She was thinking multiple servers, like, you know, for like multiple people. Now, each individual person has to have an appointment. So it was
Each
like
individual person. With
the
no...
multiple services is if you've got to try and do multiple things at once.
Which I assume DMV didn't explain it very well about that.
You would be correct in that assumption, sir.
Oh yeah. I don't like to assume a lot, but when it comes to DMV, some assumptions are almost 98% right. So
This is true. But, I mean, to their credit, they were able to work with us for the most part. My son has to schedule a different appointment so he can go take his permit test.
okay.
So that'll be something. And but the real headache was the two of us trying to get our real IDs, because you need to have your birth certificates or whatnot.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, all we had was photocopies. So obviously, they did not accept them. And we were like, well, how? We don't even know how to get our hands on a new copy of originals. And it's like, well, for her, she was born in California, so it's like there's a website you can go to pay the $50, and they will send you a copy. Mine is a little harder because I was born abroad, so I was not aware where I could get mine. And they told me I had to go through the State Department. Like, oh joy, that sounds like it's going to be fun. A headache. And I was right. It was a headache. I had to see, like, when you do the state ones, you can like go to a central website, put in which state you're born in, and it'll forward the request along. It'll take your money and all that. State Department, though, you actually have to write out a request and mail it via snail mail to the State Department in order for them to start processing. And they tell you right on the website it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks for them to process it. and then they'll mail it back. And with COVID and a reduction in or an extension in wait times for mailing things, it could be like 3 to 4 months before you actually get it. So it's like, well, that's just peachy. But I was just flabbergasted with the fact they are so tech behind that you can't email, there's no web portal in this day of digital era to submit the request to the consulate's office for these. You actually have to write out, and you have to write it out, and you have to get it notarized, and then you have to mail it in. So it's like I was able to get it done. It was a whole rigmarole. I had to go to the bank, get a certified check for the processing fee, and I went ahead and paid the extra $18 for the express shipping, so that I could get it back in a timely. So I can get it back, because DMV was nice enough to schedule me a new appointment for May, and it's like, it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks for the State Department. It's like, I'm a little concerned that I'm going to have to wait, that it's not going to be back in time.
That's true.
Trying to get that real ID and get that out of the way, so that, when the rest of the country opens up and you can travel without a whole lot of headache, and be able to do that. It would be nice.
Oh. Yeah, because that real ID does play into.
It does, because you can need that for domestic flights and stuff, and
yeah, I know the process of that, because I remember getting my real ID, and it's like you need a slew of documents.
Well, we had everything. The only thing we were struggling with was the birth certificate. Now, the nice thing is when I get this new copy, not only am I going to do my real ID, but I'm also going to do my passport and get all of that done that I've been meaning to get done. I've been meaning to do the passport for like 20 years.
Yeah.
This time it's like, no, I'm getting it done.
My passport, I think, is good for, because I got it renewed in 2014. Where is it? I don't know. It's in one of these drawers, but yeah, I think I still got a good few years.
Well, and the thing is, I was looking at my driver's license. Next year, I got to get a driver's license renewal, and it's like, oh, lovely. But hopefully, I'm still good where I just have to, pay the fee and have them just mail it to me. I'll have to go in for a new picture. Other than that, it's nice and chill and hang out, relax.
Same here. Outside of finishing up a few projects that I have to do, relax for the most of the time. Did get my car cleaned, so that's a plus.
Thinking about doing that today too.
Yeah, because it was nice yesterday. I was like, right after I went running, I was like, go right, because the Freedom Wash is right near Mount Trashmore, so that's where I usually go clean. Vacuum, I wash, but I hand dry when I'm done, and then it's all good and gravy. That's pretty much it, other than working on the project that I have to turn in this week.
Is that independent research thing?
Yes. So my mind's idea centers around fandom. So incorporating fandom in the classroom to help, provide that gap between the material and understanding of writing techniques. So
sounds really cool.
Yep. And that's a way, I think, the way I break it down, it focuses on, writing in the classroom, fandom, why fandom, and then I break it down to how, writing is essential, and then, there could be issues in the classroom for certain reasons. And then I said to link that gap between understanding and empowerment, use fandom, use what the students are familiar with in the real world, so you can link the concepts of the different writing genres, the different language studies to help them understand how is it applicable in the real world when it comes to what you like. See how writing is important to Dungeons and Dragons, to sports, to music, to anime. You know, everything from the writing itself in the material that is produced to the community itself. You have community blogs, you have op-eds, you have featured articles, you know, you have lots of different things. So then we got to present it. So that's the other half of it.
You gotta write it and you gotta do a presentation. Oh, they want you
Well,
to do a lot.
we had to create a handout based on all the research we did, and then with that handout, because you're presenting it to teachers, the whole point is everybody in the class are being taught to, everybody's going to be a teacher. That's the with the class and everybody in class. So you're presenting this idea to them that they can use in their classroom in the future. So
Sounds interesting.
I wanted to go off the wall, which I always do with my projects. I was like, well, I started with the idea of, and the whole point in in a classroom, you want to empower your students to improve their skills, but how and why? And then through all that research I was doing, the way that they were reaching out, beyond the classroom in real world settings, and then eventually came across an article that focused on fandom, using what students like and bringing it in, empowering them with the matter of choice, and then using that to link to different techniques in writing, breaking down editing, revising, how to write this and that.
It's still really cool. I'm looking forward to this. I'm sure it'll go over really well.
Oh yeah, my professor enjoys it. We sent our draft. She gave us some tips to fix it up. I actually took one aspect out of it because it convoluted it way too much. So I centralized right on the idea of fandom. Try to get too creative and try to create my own vision. But I had no way explaining it because it was I basically was making making too big of a sandwich when it should have just been a simple sandwich, basically. So I was like, let's take this glut out and focus just on one aspect. So sometimes it's good to just condense it. So
that totally makes sense.
Yeah, because I went and reread it, and then I was like, I don't even know what I'm saying here. So if I don't even know what I'm saying, let me take it out because I won't be able to explain it.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing when you get to that point where it's like, wait a minute, what was I trying to say here?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like the second, I do that with a lot of stuff I write. Like if I can't understand what I'm trying to say, I take it out because it doesn't make any sense. Or is it just you're just repeating yourself? Because fan service and fandom, it's pretty much saying the same thing. So that's why it was kind of hard to explain it because it was the same thing. Let's just take it out. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss.
Good enough.
I see. Gleaming in the ruby.
Clean now. Archangel logo looking
just a little bit.
Oh, the green is so dark, and then trying to come over this with the white. I don't want to put it on too thick because I don't want to inadvertently ruin some of the detail.
Yeah, you just want to like glaze over it. Glaze.
Pop a little bit more. Trying to use the side of the brush too to get some of the high points without going too much into it. Cool. So difficult with this raised kind of this. I mean, it's ever so slightly raised. Doesn't take much to go.
Yeah, you know, just enough, but not too much. I get the gist.
Yep. Security scrolls on them, they say. Interesting how this whole thing works, where like these guys go into combat, they write these oaths of oaths that they will honor while they're out in combat, because you know they're very much thinking they're like crusaders. That it's the will of it. Even though they try not to practice religion, it's kind of a religion with their oaths to the emperor and the imperium.
That army, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the whole space marines in general, and the imperium of man.
Okay.
It's set so far in the future. It's like, you know, humanity had spread across the stars and become disjointed, and the emperor has created these children through genetic manipulation called the Primarchs, and they were lost to space, and then he went and found them, and once they found them, it was like integrating all of humanity into one cohesive kind of government again. So Primarchs and all the Space Marines, which are all genetically manipulated as well, are executing his will to bring all of humanity to get together under one banner again. Interesting bits of lore, what I've gathered.
So anything else going on today? Anybody coming over for games or doing any kind of games?
No, actually this week's pretty quiet for games. Kind of nice. I know I got a lot of writing to do this week, and I really need to get it all done. I've got Shadow Watch is going to be going up against a drow house, so I have to put the house together. Start plotting it out to see how that's going to play itself out. Should be a lot of fun.
That should be fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking it'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun, real kind of interesting. Because now it's like, you know, when the module was first written, there was only like one kind of stat block for dark elves, and now in 5th edition we have stats and descriptions for every member of a drow household, even the matron mother. And this particular one does have a matron mother who's there, so that'll be very interesting, especially if the party tries to fight her. That could be proved to be very good or very bad, or who knows. But I'm not going to dissuade them. I'm just going to make sure if the options that make sure I account for the possibility they'll try it. Kind of go from there. And Shadow Watch, or not Shadow Watch, Challenge Accepted, we got a new cast member who joined us last night.
Awesome.
Kind kind of fun. They did a little job for the dwarves. Bought some Duergar. Figured it was a nice way to get everybody kind of working as a team, because there's no better way. Sometimes D&D, there's best way to find out how you mesh together is when you're thrown into combat.
That happens.
Fun. We managed to defeat all the Duergar, which was, kind of expected.
I don't know what my mom's yelling about. She's talking to somebody.
Who?
Little touch of white.
Little touch of white on the paper.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to use a heavy red for the seals. Big thing is trying to layer up some of this white because it's Caliban green. So strong. It's the first set of minis, and trying to get the. I expect to have mistakes. I can learn from. No means think I'm perfect. Think I was ever gonna get this perfect right out the gate.
Practice. Practice. You'll make mistakes, big or small, but that's how you get better at the craft.
Yeah, you got to keep doing it. Don't let the mistakes. Don't let the fear of making mistakes overwhelm you from doing it.
I always say, use the mistakes as a stepping stone to something better. You can't get better if you don't. If you can't get better if you don't make mistakes, I'm not going to. I can't do that today.
Oh.
I looked at because I have my smartwatch, so I saw a text come across, and I was like, I can't do that right now. Don't want to talk about it.
Gotcha.
Family matters.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What was I saying? Yeah, you can't. What was I saying? I got distracted by a text. Okay, yeah. You can't write the perfect novel without stumbling across story issues, or you can't hit that perfect riff on guitar without practicing over and over, hitting the wrong note here and there. So.
Right. What was that mantra from way back when? Mistakes are a wise person's education.
Yeah.
It's all about. I like to think I'm not doing too bad. Fingers braced where I can get.
Oh yeah.
And of course, stop, look away, because then your eyes get cross-eyed as you're trying to focus on it.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah, I completely understand. You keep looking at something over and over, your eyes are just going to start going woo.
All the fun, all the fun. Little bits at a time. So I checked out and watched the second season of Camp Cretaceous.
Oh, really? So how is the second season?
I liked it. I thought it was. I mean, they definitely it felt pretty good. I mean, in some ways, it kind of felt like a filler. In other ways, it was, it's almost like, if you're watching it and you're a fan of the films, it's like, there's certain things you want to ask questions of, and you want to start diving into those questions. And they're like, they teased it, but they didn't focus on that. They found a different story to tell. And I thought it went over pretty well. I pretty much watched the whole thing in one sitting. Which wasn't too bad. Definitely looking forward to when they do a season 3.
Oh yeah, I think they are doing a season 3.
I would hope so. They got a pretty good cliffhanger for season 2. Might be a little disappointed if they don't do a season 3.
I can't confirm that. I just basing it on a hunch.
Well, Netflix typically does 3 seasons of stuff before they're like, yeah, it's too expensive, we're done.
Yeah, and most of the time. I do know a series that I watched last year was canceled after 1, but the same thing is probably because of budgetary. There's that sci-fi show with Hilary Swank called Away. It was about, the crew that went to Mars.
Okay.
There was supposed to be a second season, but they canceled it after the first. But it's not one of those ones where it ended on a cliffhanger.
Oh, really?
It's one of those encapsulated, how they do. You encapsulate a story within a season, but, there's room to make more story.
Yeah.
It's not like one of those where,
like, you need to have an over arc, and you need to have a second season, multiple seasons to tell the story.
Yeah. So it, even though it ended, it had an ending. So it's not like where I've seen shows where one of my favorite shows, thank goodness Netflix saved it at the time, is Longmire, and at the time it was on A&E, and the way they ended it on A&E was on a massive cliffhanger, and then they canceled the season, so you had no way of knowing what was the outcome. Because it left so many dangling threads, and then Netflix was like, screw that, and they picked it up and finished it. They added 3 more seasons on top of it to finish it off. So
good.
So, yeah, Longmire is I preach up and down about how underrated and amazing that show is. Like, if you like crime, crime dramas, it's one of the best, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's serialized, but at the same time episodic, so it does a good blend of the typical Law and Order stuff, but there's a growth in the characters and overarching story that keeps building over time. So even if they're doing certain crimes in the day, it still has a purpose of moving the story forward. So
that's always good.
So, but the unique spin of the crime drama is it focuses on sheriffs in Wyoming. So it's not within a city or in the deep south.
Yeah, we're not doing the whole big city
fighting cartels. Nope. It is actually a turn of a police drama out in Wyoming. So.
So I ordered a set of AirPods for because I was getting ready to do a test, getting ready to do
Okay.
my tests for the student thing, for the teacher thing.
Yeah.
And I figured I'd use my MacBook for the proctored test because I can sit away from my main computers and do that without much difficulty. But I figured, I want to get a different headset. And so I figured I'd get some AirPods finally because, got some nice benefits. So anyways, got a set, ordered a set, and the package came in yesterday, also with a wireless charger for my Apple stuff. Like, cool, this is awesome, this is great. Open it up, get the charger all set up and turned on, and everything looks like it's working. I go for the AirPods, and the plastic wrap on the AirPods looks a little odd. Take a closer look. It turns out somebody cut the plastic on the bottom of the box, took out the AirPods, and then left the box. So whenever the guys at the warehouse put it in the shipping box, it would they basically somebody had stolen them and they just put an empty box and shipped an empty box to me.
That is
I was just like, are you kidding me? What the heck?
That's a new one.
Yeah, but thankfully I got on the phone with customer support. I was like, yeah, I ordered this like $200 set of earbuds, and all I got is an empty box. But they were nice. They didn't question it too much. They just went ahead and ordered a new set for me, and it should be arriving on Tuesday, I hope.
You ordered it through Amazon?
Yeah.
From the is it Apple Store, or was it like an off?
No, it's the legit Apple product.
Okay.
Just sold through Amazon.
So they cut the bottom of the box.
Yeah.
Took out the headphones and then oh my god, man. People.
I know, right? I mean, it's like seriously. You're gonna be that shady, you're gonna sit there and steal it out of the box, then leave the box. Now it's either the guy who and what really is frustrating is it's not so much that. I mean, that I get. What really kind of irritates me is either the guy who packed the box to ship to me stole the AirPods, or the guy who packed the box to ship to me didn't even realize that the cellophane had been cut and didn't question it.
Yeah, he probably was just, making the delivery just keep going. I mean,
it wasn't the delivery guy.
It wasn't.
I don't blame the delivery guy. The delivery guy gave me a sealed box.
Yeah.
It's the guy who packed the sealed box at the warehouse that I've got beef with, because it's like either you're the one who took them and thought you'd be smooth, thought no one would notice, or you were so distraught you just didn't even notice there was a problem with the box when you pulled it out. Unless Amazon has literally gone all robot in their packing, then obviously the robot wouldn't have known that the box was packaging was damaged. The worst part is when you fill out the complaint on Amazon for their "How was your shipment?" It's like the way the questions are set up. It seems like the person they're gonna blame first is the delivery driver, and I'm like, the delivery driver did everything right. I had no issue with what the delivery driver did. I got issues with what happened in the warehouse.
Yeah, something is definitely fishy between a certain point A and a certain point B. Because if certain during the process, if any of that part is automated, then that means it either say like the packaging is automated, then that means somewhere in the distribution somebody stole it.
Yep.
So that's just I'm just trying to make a logical analysts, because like you said, a lot of things are automated. So then it comes down to distribution. Where along the route did somebody yoo-hoo and then went woohoo?
Yeah,
um,
totally.
but yeah, that's kind of crappy, especially pods. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I got the AirPod Pros because, they're sweat resistant, whatever, trying to do more of that working out thing and being outside. And I've got issues with, sweat buildup, in case there's sweat buildup in the ears and whatever, and don't want the electronics to fry. Regardless
yeah,
of the statistics being the one item that people lose bits and pieces of all the time are those AirPods. And it's like, yeah, this kind of ridiculous.
yeah, it's kind of crazy, and it's kind of to me, it's just kind of you know sickening, because people work work, save to buy certain items, and then it just happens to take hey, Scott's in the chat.
Hi,
uh,
Scott. Thanks.
yeah so somebody worked and saved the money to get that, and it's just this person thinks it's conveniently theirs because they can just steal it, like their high priority.
Yeah.
um
That kind of thing just
yeah, kind of
irritates
sad.
me.
Yeah, it's like you are just lazy in the fact of not wanting to work to get those where someone else does. But Scott mentioned something in the chat. He said, which could be a different twist to it. Someone probably returned an empty box and they didn't check it. He also says in the chat, I ordered a cabinet from Amazon. It needed to put together and was missing two of its smallest pieces. Like someone opened it and returned it without the pieces. So that could be a different twist in the
Yeah, it could have
lost
been it was
AirPods.
somebody bought it and they decided to return it, and when it was returned, nobody checked to make sure the packaging was actually sealed. It's the first time something like that's happened to me with Amazon. It's like I was just kind of beside myself because it's like it's so random. It was so utterly random.
Yeah, that is definitely random. That is so random. I'm not even.
Yeah. I mean, how do you react to something like that?
Flabbergasted.
Like, really?
Yeah, that's flabbergasted. Because the thing is, AirPods are pricey, but it's nothing that you can't save up for or find a way to get a discount. Plus, people sell them on the Facebook market and everywhere for cheap, depending on if they're replacing old ones that they have.
Yeah,
So,
or if they've lost one and
yeah.
then they got another set and they lost it and they're gonna try and replace it, it's just like, wow, just wow.
Yeah, it's that's just funny. Sad but funny.
Yeah. So totally sad but funny. Alright, I'm just trying to work on the leather bit. White stuff.
Let's see. Army is ready to tackle with its colors.
Trying anyway.
Yep, just have a little bit more stuff to do for class, and I'm done. Then write my review.
See, that definitely kind of sucks, Scott, with the having to wait for the parts to arrive when they're non-prime, but I don't even know how I'd react to a cabinet, because it'd be like, I'd see the cabinet, it's like, oh, it's missing parts, and I'd be like, okay, what's missing? All right, let me go to Home Depot and get the missing piece. Move on with my life.
But yeah, like if you definitely know the what a piece is, and if it's in through a hardware store, you can probably pick it up. But there are certain cabinets and certain manufacturers that use unique designs and snap-ins, IKEA, that
Really?
you
Really?
can that you can't. I
Fair.
noticed I've purchased stuff and like I looked at the screw and looked at the thing. I was like, this ain't a normal screw.
Yeah.
So I know if I lose something like this, I'm going to have to go through the manufacturer to get whatever I need.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
Okay.
I need a little spot to try and work through the end to get a little ring to have this get this belt done.
Thought I paid that. Yes, it has been received. I'm looking at my Navy Federal. I'm gonna notice that says we have not received. Yes, I did because I have it printed and have it set to bill pay for my account. It could be the fact that it was Friday, so it takes a few more days because it's the weekend.
Totally plausible there. Little leather pouch joint going on there.
I noticed yeah. I see colors coming in. Scott said some other stuff in the chat.
Found out because I did my whole kitchen box cabinet. Price for
Yeah, Scott mentions one thing about IKEA. He says, yeah, IKEA, you can go to the store and get any missing screws for free. Well, a long wait in line.
Well, I mean, that's just IKEA.
Yeah, but if waiting in a line is, I'll do that over.
Yeah.
Over other things. Okay, let me check my bill pay because I know I paid it. Yep, it says right there.
Well, it's like many other large systems. One side of the system doesn't know what the other side's up to.
When was this email sent? Sent this morning. That's some bull. Yeah, I'm going to disregard it because I paid it. So, speaking of something crazy and weird, I got a text yesterday, last night, saying something about a package where USPS, your USPS package has been changed. Click this link to to look, and I was like, huh, this doesn't look like USPS. And one, they don't text you like this.
Oh.
So the good thing on my phone is like I have the caller, the Verizon caller ID thing, which picks up on suspicious stuff.
It flagged.
And I noticed it flagged it. I mean, it didn't flag it for something, but it flagged it for a random person's name. So I was like, oh, okay. So they're texting, but because you already get calls where they like bounce off someone else's number to call you. So now they're bouncing off other people's numbers to text you. It looks like.
Yeah. One of the things that's been driving me mad since I got my new phone number a few years ago was everybody keeps calling for this person named Don.
Yeah.
Don Woodcock, and it's like every time they call, it's like, this is not that person's number. Stop it. Now it's gotten to the point they're sending me text messages for Don, and it's just like, no. Like, hey, your home loan's good, or this is good, or that's good. And I'm like, keep blocking them, and they keep coming from different numbers. So irritating. Can't stand it.
Yeah, that definitely is one thing that makes you go, huh. Yeah, so that was a new one I got last night because I've never gotten like a text. So. So Scott says they're going back to school tomorrow for the first time.
That's right.
Teacher work day, but first full day of being at school in over a year. So actually, it's definitely a change of pace. I know a lot of the school systems here have been rotating back into normalcy.
I haven't heard any word about Chesapeake. Looking forward
I know Virginia Beach. Yeah, Virginia Beach is almost close to everybody being back full time. I think because everything up to the elementary schools have been going. But I did read somewhere where 7 to 12 will be going 4 days, so almost a full week, starting I think this week.
That's good.
So it's almost pretty much close to some normalcy because I'll be driving and then you have the flashing school zone lights, and I'm like,
love them school
I haven't
zones.
seen that in quite some time.
I love those school zones.
So now when I'm traveling, I'm going to have to even work my magic with my knowledge of cutting through neighborhoods now.
Not even.
Because I don't mind driving slow through school zone, because it's the law. You don't want to be speeding, hitting kids.
There's somebody who was getting so irritated with me on the road the other day because we were in a school zone. We had passed the school proper. It was in that last little bit right before the sign that says end school zone. And he was getting so mad because I wasn't speeding up. Once I got past the main building, I was waiting till I got past the sign. And I'm like, dude, you can still get a ticket if you speed before you get to the sign.
Yes, that happens. I've seen it happen.
And it's just, it's like, my guess is like, there wasn't an actual police officer posted by the school to catch people, but he just wanted to be it's like, go, let's go, let's go. I'm like, dude, it's still a speed zone. Why are you like all up on me over the fact that I'm not going to speed in the school zone if I can avoid people?
Yeah, some people are just they think the world is all about them. They don't care about the rules. And then they'll complain that there's why don't you abide, but they're not supposed to abide. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same person that complains that you're doing the proper way will complain that people aren't following the rules when they see it. So
yeah. The world we live in sometimes,
It's like, hey, why are you speeding? And then you'll be the one speeding. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm a hypocrite. No, don't go to sleep, laptop. What happened?
Trying to convince your laptop to keep working?
No, because my one laptop... Well, I have two laptops up because I was writing. If you could hear me typing, sending out the show summary to you, and then I have everything else on the other laptops, but it's on battery, so sometimes it falls asleep.
Yeah. Gotcha. Love how relaxing it is.
It is. Always find that peaceful thing that eases your mind.
Then I like the progress. Like, it's like you start to look at them. It's like, oh, there's a little more details that are all starting to pop up get each layer in there, you're starting to see more, and it feels more like a well-rounded kind of figure. Like, oh, they got these utility pouches. Oh, utility pouch. Batterings.
Mm.
And I like the practice on the finer control of the hand to try and get detail. Sorry, I hit the camera with my hat.
But you're good. You are good. What else do I gotta do? Oh, yeah, more school. I think this other laptop that I have is slowly dying.
Dying a slow death.
I might have to reinstall Windows again. I don't know, but it's I don't feel like thinking too much trying to fix it because it takes a long time for certain things to to reinstall and all this stuff. But now, because on your start on your taskbar at the bottom, you can right click icons that you have pinned, and it gives you other options.
Yep.
Well, I can't do that. This laptop anymore. So on the icons I have pinned, I can't right click and no option comes up on them.
Ouch.
So I'm not going to worry about why or what to fix it. I'm just like, let's just slowly decaying. But also on the right side, where it displays your your battery and your power and your Wi-Fi, if you're connected Wi-Fi and all the icons.
Yeah.
And you can click on it. You can turn off the Wi-Fi, turn on the Wi-Fi. Well, I can't even do that.
Oh wow.
I can't click on the icon so it can display, what Wi-Fi it's on or not. So, and I know that's when that's tied into some kind of Windows setting or a bad sector on the hard drive. That's just my preliminary guess. This is me not troubleshooting PCs for many years, but just basing on the knowledge I can scrape up in my web of dusty cabinets back in my brain. That it's probably something tied into Windows and something tied into a bad sector on the hard drive.
Probably. So, and there's only so much you can do for that. Try to replacing the hard drive.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, one of the things I can try to do is reinstall Windows on top of itself. Because 10 has a lot of good features for that, which is a good thing with what 10 has. It can do that. But back in the day with XP, you have to jump through hoops and type in commands.
Let's not go there.
But with Windows 10, everything is so even a person who's just knows little to none, they can follow the steps. Click here, and then that's what it'll do. Because I did it before. Because when I was having issues on this Dell, I went and just reinstalled. But the thing is, it took me almost all day, like pretty much like a chunk of a Saturday, because the time it took to put stuff back, and I just didn't put some things back. I was just like, you know what, nah, I'm not putting this back.
I'm good. I don't have to worry about this.
That's why I have this other laptop, which I accidentally got because my brother got a second laptop, and he said I could have this one. So, which was good because it happened right at the time this laptop started dying, and I was planning to get a new laptop for school anyway, so kind of was convenient.
Sounds like it.
But I have 3 laptops because I have a work laptop, so the joy of computers. So, but yep. Any of y'all know of another strategy to get Windows to work properly? Let me know in the chats. But Usually all my old laptops, I give it to my friend because he likes to just mess with them. So I was like, once it dies, I'll just give it to him.
I got another one for you to play with. What do you think?
I'll let him know. I mean, he lives in North Carolina, so whenever he comes up to visit, I'll give it to him.
Nice.
Because I've given him other.
Did you rye or what?
No.
Okay,
I was reading.
It seemed like he stopped mid-sentence, and I was like, wait, what?
I kind of do that, but no, because I was looking at you painting. So
yeah,
seeing how you're doing the subtle touches. But yeah, when my friend comes up, he'll get another laptop.
Trying to go in little passes, not to do too much all at once, because do things like that.
Did you drop something?
Yeah, I kind of got in there and I lost my grip ever so slightly, and it was enough to just drop and make everything get all wavy.
It's okay. Okay, the video caught up. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Trying to find. Okay. Time to recolor the colors. All right.
all right.
Close this email. Open the school email. Nothing important there. You know, I gotta see if my school flipped from online to in person, because they've been switching a lot of classes from online to in person for the fall.
Oh yeah, that might be a factor for you that next term.
Yeah, I mean, I already signed. You know, I already registered for the class, but it's Thursday nights.
Thursday nights.
Yeah, if it's not going to be telecommute, it'd be in person. I've done both, you know, gone to campus and not gone to campus, so. Collaboration folder. There we go. Tried to get to the example for, because we have a group project, so there's an example of something that I need. I'm only, you know, I always like having examples to look at, so I can.
Always good to have an example to reference.
Yeah, sometimes I'm good at, you know, creating out of nothing, but sometimes I need, like, you know, basic outline to trigger. Give me an idea of taking what I'm working on and how to put it in a certain format. So,
right.
That's not it. Assignment description. There we go. There we go. Example. Let's see. Did learn something about Google Docs over, you know, with creating the one handout from my graduate study, is that Google Docs doesn't like to function in the world of Word templates. So I use a Word template. I use this Word template to create the handout because, you know, Word has a good variety of different examples for flyers and stuff. So I used one of them to create a handout, and then I uploaded it to Google Docs, like, yay. And then when I went to check it before class, I was like, oh, it's not supposed to look like this. So I went and exported it in PDF and uploaded it so that it actually was formatted right.
Yeah. ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I mean Google Docs is very great because it creates good collaboration. You can share things, and that's why I like Dropbox too. Um, but Google Docs is definitely beneficial. Let's see. Thinking towards a unit aesthetic.
Right now to get the chest emblem. Glorious gold for the chest emblem.
All right.
Overacting parts of it. Chest emblem. Trying to get the chest emblems are supposed to be like a gold, but some of them it's so tight.
Such a small window of to make it happen.
Yeah, and then it's to get in the overbrush on other areas, and it's like a lot of it is just trying to catch the high points of the wings and stuff. Probably going to be the last thing I get done with this. I might be able to get the guys this go. Then I think we'll be ready for a wash, and then or some touch up, maybe a wash. Tighter. Remember, one of the techniques is like getting it and then just pushing the paint with the brush, where watering it down is getting hopefully flow in the places.
Yeah, there's only so much you can get in and do, you know.
Yeah, I
Paint it
mean,
as
some
good
of
as you
this
can, and
really
then
tight. Find a good spot to brace my fingers. Sometimes you just have to accept what you get and work within it as best you can.
internet can find websites that help you with creating uh, 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 citations.
Yeah.
You look at I have my Purdue Owl opened up, so I know how to do this because I have to cite these opinion articles. So could not remember how.
Always fun. Some are going pretty easy because there's not a whole lot of the emblem I can get to.
Oh yeah, well with that one, harder to get to it.
The emblems will...
Okay, I need to know that.
Oh, what?
How to cite with no author.
Ah.
If there's no author, cite using the title of the editorial first and then date.
Sense.
Okay.
That's time I dropped the dude.
Yeah, because there's don't drop. Stop. Shut them down. Open up shop. Somebody's excited. Drop it in the bucket.
Very satisfying getting to the point here where it's like all of a sudden now these things are starting to pop. Being green plastic, now they got all this. These are older minis too, so they're all. Parmeris ones are a lot bigger. Little bits. If the worst part is when you get to a point where it's like you think you're in the groove and then you start getting sloppy because you're inadvertently starting to rush yourself. Rush. Don't rush. Calm. Little strokes at a time. Of course, I'm telling myself this, do this because I need to kind of reinforce in my own mind. Little strokes, little bit. Happy brushes. This dude with the plasma rifle.
Skadoosh, boom, boom, bang.
Right?
Yeah, well, it's coming along pretty well. I can see from here.
Yeah, I'm not going to win any awards, but that's okay. This is practice.
Practice becomes better. You'll win the award of completion. That's an award worth accepting.
Actually makes me kind of excited to think about the point where it's like I have all the entire army that I've gotten together, actually assembled, painted, and on the table for once. It's going to be a very cool feeling. Uh-oh. Sounds like people are home.
What's going on? Uh-oh.
Hearing the door. Telltale sign someone's home.
Get the colors in, get the colors in.
Yep.
Okay. I did late last night start playing Ori and the Wisp up on Game Pass because I was just trying to find another game to sneak into my rotation.
How was
That's
it?
actually I don't know how far I got into it, but it's actually pretty fun.
I've heard a lot of good things about Ori. Now, you went with the Will of the Wisps or the Blind Forest?
I don't remember which one I started playing, but it's there's Owl, and then you have the light, and then it begins with them flying, and then they get separated. So you're trying to find each other, at least in this first part.
Okay.
I have to look, but it's what I think it's whatever the latest one was that came out.
Yeah. Because Ori and the Blind Forest was the first one.
So it's the second one.
Mr. Fisher, I am a Dark Angels person. I just saw that comment in there. What faction am I going with? I go with Dark Angels. That's the Imperium. I feel most a part of. Although, in my collection, I have Carrion Overlords for Sigmar. I have Storm Kings for Sigmar. I have Orcs for Sigmar. And then on the 40k side, I have Tau, Dark Angels, tiny little bit of Necrons. So, bit of a variety. Tau, I haven't gotten to doing the Tau yet. I figured I'm going to get the Dark Angel army first, then I'll start working on the Tau. Alright. Thing I've been avoiding. 30 minutes. I am going to try and do the blues. Because I have some blue on some plasma rifles. What do you mean? Low battery. Be charging now. Alrighty. Bright blue. This electric blue. We're gonna do the lenses on the eyes because I like that color, and the plasma rifles here will get the foil electric. plasma rifle guys. Cause
Get it in, get it in. Brandon put in what he has in regards to his faction.
killing me with the point updates for Tau. Have to figure out what to add and get back to a full army again.
That is something to worry about.
I mean, it's the thing that got me that I was really kind of having that moment where it's like, I feel really badly if I slip, but one of the first things, and I was talking to a buddy of mine who got me into Warhammer, and that was some of the stuff with 9th edition, and the fact that, I mean, you can tell there's lenses. Not the best, but anyways. So, yeah, 9th edition, they broke things out into multiple books. Like, my 8th edition codex for Dark Angels has all the units. My 9th edition codex does not. And talking to my buddy, it was like, oh, well, that's because they have this specific Space Marine codex, which has all the general unit, and then the specialized units per chapter or per group is where they have the individual codex supplements. So I'm like, so wait, whoa. Let me get this straight. So I need to get the 9th edition book to learn how to set up the battlefield and the basics of the turns. Then I need a separate codex for just general troop movement for Space Marines. And then I need another codex for my individual chapter. And he's like, yep, pretty much. Good gosh. I mean, what, really? Really? I mean, I want to understand the logic, but something tells me I'm never going to understand.
Yeah, sometimes it's just hard to understand.
That's really it. Where it's like, you can tell I have really shaky hand.
It's a little bit at a time.
Trying to get that little bit and trying to get it toward. lenses are gonna tiny little drop that part of the model. Oh, how do I hold my hand right? How do I there? But yeah, I'm gonna come back for touch up later. So come back, touch them up.
What works? A little bit at a time.
Trying to get this. I hate this. It's like,
Slowly and surely, you're getting it. I can see.
trying to get in for that, and then right there, right at the end. Oh. With the pointy faces, a pointy helmet, pointy face. One side you can see clearly, the other one looks like it's all hidden away the way the mold is. Get to be that time too. Okay. Light change. Come. You know, part of me is like, you know, I want to do this, but I don't want to come back and try to fix it later. So I want to see if the next time I do the miniatures, do I get any better? You know, like where do I see my benchmark, or where I started and where I'm at?
Yep.
At the end.
Yeah, that is true. You know, the more you practice, the more you'll know, you know, which figurines you're good at, which colors you're good at melding, and how
I'm more interested in like just general brush control, you know.
Yeah. I think focusing on small minis will help with that, because then you have to be precise, so it'll build up your technique when it gets to bigger models.
Yeah, big thing is not to be intimidated by the model.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that's probably some of the worst thing is like when you get into like, oh, this model's this model's that, it's really intricate, it's such a pain. It's like, yeah, but if you let that stop you, then you won't, you know? I don't want to let it stop me. I want to let it Get challenged. Let me be challenged by this and see what I can come up with. Oh,
It's coming to fruition. The army's ready to take on whatever they take on in the world of fantasy.
fantasy and very rotten Xenos and all that other thing. I mean, it's weird. It's like so weird in how some of these. Another fine set of motor control. I need to find all the ones. Pretty see. Right. Supposed to be like a dark wax kind of deal.
I think after this, I'll take a break and then jump into my review of the movie we watched on Thursday, actually.
What movie's that?
Well, I looked. We watched the sound. Was it Sound of Metal? It's an Amazon Prime film, so you can
Okay.
definitely watch it. You don't have to pay for it. It's one of the Oscar films, so I was trying to get in another one of the Oscar films before the the day of the awards. I tried to watch once the list comes out. If there's movies I missed, I always try to catch up on them as I can.
Yeah.
So I looked at the theater. There wasn't really everything that's playing. I've already seen. Which I was kind of happy when I was looking at the listings for the movies this week because I noticed something that I haven't noticed in a long time,
What's that?
and it's the fact of every film on deck was new movies. So that's just a
Ooh.
sign, another sign of progressing back to normalcy that they actually having new films in rotation. Because when they first opened up the theaters back last August, they had a couple, but they had to put in old favorites to try to get people to come back. So
Mhm.
they were rotating old films and doing stuff while the new movies were starting to come. But
Yeah.
looking at it this week, I saw all new films in theater. You have the new ones that dropped, and then you have the ones that been in theaters for a couple weeks, a month, and then what AMC does this time, well, around the award season, they put in the Oscar films. So that's what
Mhm.
was in there. It had Oscar films, had some indie films, had the old ones that had been in the theater for a minute, and new ones.
That's
So
cool.
I was actually pretty stoked seeing that, and actually, it's just a sign that things are starting to move back to normal.
Pretty good sign.
Yeah, pretty good sign. But yep, looked at the list of movies. I was like, we've seen all of these, and let's watch Sound of Metal because we wanted to watch it. We just hadn't gotten to it, and it's definitely it's much. If you watch it, it's a much it's a small personal film, and it focuses on a guy who he's a drummer who loses his hearing, so he has to go
Ah,
through the issues of trying to understand the new dynamics of of his
situation.
life, of of his situation. And it's really that's what it focuses on, you know very small. It's very much in the vein of a small personal film, nothing extravagant, nothing great, but I can see why. It was this Ariz Ahmed, who's the guy that plays the drummer, why he is nominated for best actor. I can tell you that much, because he's one of the 5 that got nominated for best actor. I was like, okay, let me see his performance, and I watched it. He's like, yeah, I can definitely see why. And it brings to light, the understanding of, people who are deaf. So it does definitely bring a light to that too. So
It's an important thing because I mean they're
yeah.
just like everybody else. They just have their struggles just like everyone else.
Oh yeah. And that's like one of the messages in the film is that, struggles are the same, even if you have a different, you know, you have something different within the way you live. You know, disability or, character, culture, whatever it is. But yeah, definitely if you get time, check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. It's free, so you don't have to pay for anything. I think it was it's close to 2 hours, normal time frame, right around that time frame for a film. So
Cool.
I couldn't remember the time because I was so engrossed in it. So, um, but I'll work on that review later on after we're done here, and I'm finishing up this school stuff because I need to take a break, not looking at a laptop for a second.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. I think I'm
Oh
done
yeah,
for today on these guys. They look like they're pretty much. I mean, I can see looking at them. There's still some details I want to try and get, like the areas around here. You see the joints are connecting. According to my
yeah,
reference photo, those could all be black. Kind of show like some rubber and whatnot that's kind of holding the joints together. But that's at this point it's just going back over and trying to hit details. Probably one of the harder ones is to try and get this one kneecap because they're typically in kind of a partial signify. I believe it. They have a significance in the terms of the unit cohesion. So that's something else. I can see areas where in handling it, I've rubbed away. So I think that's just adds a little bit to wear on the, wear patterns on the armor just from wear use. So, but that's some of the details I'm seeing that I could go back and try and do. And then, of course, doing a wash to kind of darken everything and get some shading and highlights. Pretty much there. I mean, the eyes overall didn't look like they came out too terrible. Definitely one of those things trying to hit that in there. Maybe my brush tip was too big. I need to look at try to do that with a smaller, finer tipped brush. Then there are other little things like I noticed like these guys on their bolters, they have an emblem right here that should probably a different color, maybe like a silver or a brass, kind of like this right here, and then going back and touching up some areas. But I mean, they're coming along. It's just at this point, it's doing another pass over them and then another pass and trying to pick up a little detail each time I do a pass through them, which feels good because each time I get done with a pass, it's like they look a lot more complete and a little closer to being fully painted up and ready to hit the battlefield. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and call it for this one.
yeah.
Thanks for hanging out and checking out this video all the way to the end. You're awesome and amazing. Thank you, Rye, for hanging out with me again for another Sunday with Scoob.
No problem.
Everyone out there, if you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell notification to be notified when we have more videos come out. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, is Scuba and the Rye, where Rye and I talk about movies, video games, and all kinds of other various things that we talk about. Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern is live D&D play, Shadow Watch, live D&D game here on YouTube. Also Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern is Challenge Accepted, another live D&D game we play right here. Feel free to come and check those out. Follow us up on the socials to find out more things. And we're going to call it an afternoon. So you guys have a great afternoon, a great week. Love each other, stay safe, do all the things that are responsible and socially minded, and we will see you on our next stream. Bye, everybody.
Peace.